The summer of my sophomore year, Logan Hart lured me into his bed. From that moment, he seemed addicted, devoted to me for the next 5 years. My friends would tease him, calling him overly lovesick. Even simps aren't this devoted. Until one day, I stumbled upon his secret WhatsApp account. Thousands of status updates, all filled with pictures of his childhood sweetheart in plaid schoolgirl skirts. The girl in the photos was youthful and captivating, her charm impossible to ignore. I then realized that these 5 years were nothing but a trade-off. While his body was with me, his heart had long since found its way to her. Content. The night Logan came home. He swept me into the bedroom with impatient hands when he stepped through the door. Logan's appetite in that department was insatiable. A few days apart were all it took for his restraint to snap. There was no time for romance, just a rush to satisfy his needs. It was familiar, mechanical even. Quick and over. I collapsed onto the bed, barely conscious. Ding. His phone chimed with a notification. Logan glanced at the screen, immediately getting up to leave. "Where are you going this late?" He kissed my forehead softly. "Something came up at work. I won't be long." A strange sense of unease crept over me. Call it women's intuition, but something didn't feel right. Summoning my energy, I called his office. "Are many people working overtime tonight? I was thinking of sending everyone barbecue as a treat." "No one's working late tonight," his assistant replied. "Mr. Hart gave us all the night off. The office is empty." I hung up, staring blankly at the bed. If Logan wasn't at work, where had he gone so late? By early morning, Logan returned with my favorite dumplings from Sullivan's in Chicago. The dumplings were perfect, thin skin, rich filling, and a burst of savory broth. He grinned, ruffling my hair. "Anything you want, honey, even if it's the moon, I'll find a way to turn it into a pie for you." I couldn't help but laugh. Maybe I was just overthinking things. The idea of Logan not loving me? My best friend Marlo Hayes wouldn't believe it for a second. "Sierra, you're being paranoid again. Logan's head over heels for you, he'd probably die without you. You've been dating for 5 years, and every time you argue, who's apologizing and begging you to make up? Stop making him wait. Just marry the guy already." Marlo wasn't wrong. Logan had indeed given more in this relationship. But she didn't know the truth. Logan had never proposed to me. He'd always say, "I want to give you the best, baby. Let me build a solid foundation before we talk about marriage." I was young and didn't want to be tied down by marriage. So we dragged on like this for 5 years. As I reheated the dumplings, I caught Logan on the couch, staring at his phone with a soft smile on his lips. "What's making you so happy?" I asked. Hearing me, Logan quickly erased the "sme" "Lou" from his face. "Nothing, just a funny video." "Show me." Instead of sharing, he put his phone away and scooped me into his arms. He huskily whispered, "Nothing's more beautiful than you." Before I could argue, he pushed me down onto the bed, kissing and biting me playfully. His phone slid onto the mattress within my reach. It was his WhatsApp, but the account name was unfamiliar, Starry Sky. That night, I couldn't sleep. I unlocked his phone and combed through the messages and posts individually. What I found left me reeling. The posts told a story of a Logan I didn't recognize. October 9th, 2019, do you know what I did? I slept with someone else. You betrayed me first, so don't blame me for doing the same. I remembered that night. Logan had stumbled into my apartment, drunk out of his mind. July 1st, 2020, I'm preparing for my grad school exams. Don't think graduating means you can leave me. That was the day he confessed his love to me. March 17th, 2022, you dared to get engaged behind my back? I'll never forgive you. That night, Logan was so drunk he scratched me in a frenzy, leaving red marks on my back. December 24th, 2023, I know you broke up. I'll always be here waiting for you. That was Christmas Eve when Logan told me he had a business dinner and couldn't spend the holiday with me. My hands trembled as I scrolled to the most recent post, dated 2 nights ago, the night he left claiming he had work. What's lost will always find a way back to me. The attached photo featured a young woman in a plaid schoolgirl skirt with a youthful and alluring figure. I zoomed in on the face. It was Ren Keaton, Logan's childhood sweetheart. A wave of nausea hit me. My hands shook so hard I nearly dropped the phone. These 5 years hadn't been love. I was nothing more than a stand-in while his heart stayed with her. Their shared past and youthful romance was their story, not mine. I had been the outsider all along. I didn't cry or scream. Instead, I calmly took screenshots, saved everything, and placed the phone back where it was. That evening, Logan came to me with a new assortment of toys. I turned my back on him coldly. "I'm on my period." "Not tonight." Logan smirked and wrapped me in his arms, his voice teasing yet possessive. I promised to be gentle. Logan tried coaxing me several times, but when I kept refusing, his expression darkened. "Well, babe, get some sleep. I need to swing by the office for work." Marlo, my best friend, used to joke about Logan's persistence. "You should be grateful. A man only sticks around like that if he loves you." I used to think she was right. Logan never hid his physical desires. But now I understand the difference between men and women. Men can separate their desires from their hearts, offering one to each. If a man truly loves someone, would he so carelessly hurt her to the point of breaking? On his secret WhatsApp story, Logan once described Ren as, "Yo. You're my moonlight and a red string of fate. Just looking at you from afar is enough to fulfill me." And yet, the first time Logan and I spent the night together, he treated me with reckless abandon, leaving me bruised and sobbing, begging him to stop. The difference between love and indifference, between us, was a gap I could never cross. I followed Logan to a cafe. Ren, dressed in a plaid schoolgirl skirt, was waiting at the door. She looped her arms around Logan's waist as if they were teenage sweethearts. Logan pushed her against the wall, whispering something that made her smile. Under the dim streetlight, the two kissed passionately. From my hidden corner, I snapped photos of the scene. After 5 years of dating Logan, we'd tried every kind of intimacy, but he'd always avoided kissing me. Watching them, lips locked and bodies closed, I chuckled bitterly. So, it wasn't that he hated kissing, it was just that he didn't want to kiss me.